Okay, so thinking a bit about how can we be okay with all that's happening in the world, all that's changing, and in particular right now I'm thinking about AI and technology and the world of work and careers and the economy and um, what our social systems will look like, our communities will look like. There's just a lot out there that is just so unknown. And yes, I do firmly believe that we will create whatever that is, which has to start obviously within individually and then with people around us, and then more and more people and more people doing that. It's just how stuff changes. And at the individual level, people are scared. We all just want to be okay. And one of the things that I know is helping me as I have this journey of starting again and making a life that works for who I am now. And it it really has just showed me how much I tried to plan and I overthought everything and didn't take steps that I should have taken because I had this grand plan and I just kept trying to plan stuff out and have some kind of strategy and life just said no. And then a lot of things that I planned and thought I would like, I ended up not liking, or didn't work for me, or were very different than I thought they would be. And so, especially now with the fact that we don't know what things are going to look like in a year, let alone 5 or 10, what is something we can do? Now, there are many, but for today, what I'm thinking about is my choosing to, yes, do a teeny bit of thought, teeny bit of research, maybe a little writing, maybe talk to a couple of people. But I've been doing that for so long and kind of sitting with it, being still. Stillness really helps. We talked about the walks and things that help things gel a little bit. But doing is the thing that is helping me the most because I have all these assumptions about what I like and don't like and who I am, right? We all have these identities that have been formed over time, and we tend to do things consistent with the beliefs of who we are. And I was kind of completely wrong about who I was, or even and especially who I am now. And trying to live and make decisions and take actions that are not born of some identity that was constructed. And the best way for me to do that is to act. And so, yeah, put a little thought into it, but more feel into it for me, and the curiosity, really fostering it. I was we're all born curious, right? Little kids, that's how they learn. And I had been talking to family members and just was like, what was I like when I was a baby, when I was a toddler, when I was little? And my older sister said, you just never stopped wanting to know how everything worked and what was that thing over there, and like you just asked questions constantly, and that never left me. And so I'm trying to use it more now and remember that that's there and I am, and sometimes that just leads me to keep wanting to learn. And for me, that was just learning here, it wasn't learning here. And so to stop that, and which, yeah, couldn't immediately stop that. Okay, yeah, now I realize it, so I'm just going to stop, and I'm just going to go and do it differently now, and just doesn't work like that. Humans don't work like that. So it was a small step, one small step first. And part of that is this, right? I did start doing some videos a few months ago to try to test it out. And I was like, okay, I do like doing this. This is something where it helps me to share and to really think as I'm doing this too. And I can talk with people, even though it's not one-on-one and you're not right there. I wish you were. And sometimes I can't do that, right? So this is a way that I can do it even in times that I'm unable to go be at an event or give a live workshop or something like that. This is something that allows me an outlet for something that I enjoy doing, which is sharing what I've learned about me and what I've learned through my work. And so I tried this, right? And I tried some other things. I tried starting a Substack, which may end up doing something at some point. And that just felt not right to me. And there are other steps, right? So I'm constantly trying new things and getting feedback. And now, yeah, I'm trying to be more intentional about it now and have just some kind of formal commitment to trying things for a certain period of time now, because I realize the new thing sometimes is just fun. Like, oh, yay, I have this great idea. I'm going to start this new thing. Can you relate to that? And then, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, but there's this other new thing and I'm over here and I'm going to start that one. And I need to give certain things time. Now, there's certain things when I try them or to do them for the first time, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, this is totally not for me. Yeah, one of those things was I like facilitating, but it depends on the kind of thing. And this was a particular thing that was more like being a task manager. And I didn't love it in that setting. I think it did a good job. I enjoyed being able to help the people I was with. And it's not something I want to do a lot of, right? I'll do it where it's needed. It was needed. I can do it well. I did it. And so, but it's those kind of things. Like initially I was like, I don't know. Do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And then I'm like, let me just go try that. Let me go try it. Right? It's a little prep work. It's one day in addition to the prep work, and we'll go do it. And then we'll decide after. And so it was really clarifying for me, like, nope, not that way. Let's use a different skill. Let's use a different skill set, or maybe a different environment. So that's kind of how I'm working through this starting again. So if you're somebody who is looking to change and do something different, or you're just starting out in life, you're a young adult, teen maybe, 20 something, or empty nester, or you're a parent helping your kids, we have to do, and we have to interact with the world. So the thing we're doing, other people, and I realize everybody doesn't have the energy sometimes for interacting socially, but that can look in a lot of different ways. So I'd encourage you to do that in a way that works well for you, and I find for me, the right people, it always feels good, right? Even if there's limited energy, it always feels a certain amount of good. And so find those people for yourself, because that can be, that can really clarify things and help with giving you feedback, again, types of rooms you want to be in, or just feedback about the thing that you're trying. Maybe they're very involved in a certain area of thing that you want to do, or they're a creative, or they're a scientist or an inventor, or somebody who has something that you think might be that you're curious about. So find a way to interact with them in a way that works for you. Maybe that's initially something written. Maybe it's an introduction via somebody else. Maybe it's going to an event where you specifically know, I'm going to go see this person, this person, this person, and interact with them, and then leave because you don't want all of that. But we have to be out there, and by out there, I mean interacting in some way, right? I can't always be out there, but I can be doing this. I can do one-on-one. I have a lot of calls. I do Zooms. But I do have neighbors. I do have community. And so it is that sometimes. It's that in-person thing, which I really do love when I have capacity for it. So yeah, I'm encouraging you to find one thing small. Start small. You're like, oh, I have a full-time job and a part-time job because that's what I need to do right now. Okay, or I'm, an executive and I'm a business owner and I'm working constantly. All right, find a way to do it. I'm not saying any of this is easy. I have limitations. A lot of us do. And maybe now isn't the right time, but maybe it is. And maybe it's something really, really, really small. It's a single art class, or it's, watching a YouTube video of somebody who does the thing that you think you want to do. Maybe you start there, and then maybe you do. Maybe it's just a one conversation with, I don't know, somebody one of your friends knows who does something that sounds interesting, and they can make a connection and you have a phone call. Or it's make a video, or it's writing a poem, or it's, you have an idea that you think you want to do for a business. Can you do some small piece of that and get somebody to try it out? Do you have to sit with that? Imagine, and just talk with your friends, talk with people go on Reddit and ask people, right? We have a lot of access now for those who maybe don't have people close by or people they can talk with. There are communities we have access to now. Thread seems to be a kinder place these days. I don't know how long that'll last, but sometimes that can be an outreach, especially if you have some ideas of things that you might want to do. So again, none of this is easy. If it were, I would give you the step-by-step, and I probably could make a lot of money doing that, right? None of it's easy. So if anybody tells you that, run. This is just one little piece of a way I'm trying to be okay. And there are many, many. But this one thing is kind of cool when you get the pattern down, and when you go on autopilot and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. No, like, I want to see what this thing is like. What is a way, and sit with the question, what is a way I can try this that's really low risk, that will not take a lot of time, and I can see what it's like, right? It's what is the way, not can I do it, not if I'll be able to do it. It's what is a way I could. I'm the first one to always say, oh, I can't do that because blah, 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 blah. Well, if it's something I'm curious about and really want to do, and I'm making this commitment to doing that, I will find a way. And if that thing doesn't work, I'll go to the next idea. But doing something. And this thing of experiment and trying things and taking action will build. And as you start doing some of the small things, then you'll start allowing yourself, you'll feel safer to try something a little more and a little more and a little more. That's how we develop our life. It's the same way, really, honestly, with like making friends, like intentional community. It's one act. It's this person just moved in. I'm gonna go bring them. I'm gonna make them cookies. Obviously find out if they eat sugar or gluten. But it's just an example. I'm gonna bake them cookies and I'm gonna give it to them in a really nice dish, and I'm gonna ask them, you know, um, this way they have to return it, right? So it creates a connection. I saw somebody was talking about they had a lot of flowers in their yard, and so did their new neighbor. And they decided to clip flowers and put them in this beautiful vase and brought them over to the new neighbor. And then that neighbor and said, return it. If you want to return it to me, return it with some flowers in it from your yard. And that started a friendship, right? So it's small. And, you can think of an idea that would work for you. You might not be comfortable doing that. That's totally fine. My point is, it's putting the question of what. What is it I could do, right? You don't need to take my suggestions or anybody else's suggestions. Find what works for you. There's a way. So, this experimenting, this taking an action and allowing the feedback to help you make your next decision and continue taking action. And for me, I need to commit to something for, most things for a certain period of time to really get a sense of it and to see what could come. And I don't know what comes after this. I don't know what comes of the rest of this starting over thing. I'm doing it as it goes. I've gotten messages already. I have an Instagram. It's Rock Your Future is the Instagram, all spelled out. Rock Your Future. It's been one of businesses I have the name for over 20 years. And yes, it definitely sounds like it was created 20 years ago, but I've kept it because I don't know. I find it interesting because I actually look at it now and I think rock your future. The word our is in there. And it really is true that each one of us that does this, that changes how we do stuff, that does it in a way that we can find what works for us in an organic kind of way, even though we're intentionally trying and doing, but rather instead of just sitting and just I love the word perseverating, but just laboring it, like going over and over and over in our head and planning and thinking, and it's not helping me and it's not helping anybody around me. And so, hey, if we can all kind of, again, this is just one little piece. I'll talk about all the pieces that at least that I've found. And but this piece, I think, is a piece that gets like an energy of its own. There's a momentum that happens, and there's some good neurochemicals that happen when you do this too. So I think it has multiple benefits, and it can help you maybe find something that's meaningful to you, or that you've enjoyed doing, or that you enjoy a way you might make income or enjoy income. It also just gives you the practice so that no matter what comes in the future, it's like, okay, things just shifted, right? So now I'm in a good position because the things shifted in my own life, like huge amount, but they're also shifting in the world. And I'm not worried about what is happening. I mean, I'm worried about some of the stuff that's, let's be clear. I am worried about things that are happening. I'm concerned for a lot of the things because there are a lot of people suffering, including me. And, but I'm not worried about my ability to adapt to it because I have built these skills, this being one of them. And I can keep using that. Stuff shifts, I'm going to shift again. So, and the starting over thing and starting fresh and trying to not limit my actions and patterns based on these identities that I had from forever. And that allows me to be okay as we're going through all these things that change. It's like, okay, now what's the questions I need to ask myself right now? What are the actions that I can take right now? I can start small. I know it. And I know that as I go, cool things come out of that. And things that work for me come out of that. So I would just encourage you to do it. And again, if you subscribe and follow me over on Instagram if you like. It gives just a snippet of kind of the topics I'm doing for today. And you can see what, and communicate with me there too. So, all right. See you soon.